And we're now joined by the Forward of the Year and the Player of the Year in the USHL, and of course, a Saint for life in Riese Gaber. Riese, thanks for taking the time to do this today.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. Thanks for having me.
Absolutely. So I guess that's where we'll start first, and then maybe we'll go back to the year that you had a little bit. But obviously, the accolades that just came out recently. Last week, you were awarded First Team All USHL, Forward of the Year, and Player of the Year. First time Dubuque has ever had a Player of the Year honored by the league to them. And when you look at those three accolades, when you started the season, did you ever think that you would hear your name associated with any, if not all three of those?
No, no, not at all. Kind of still came to a bit of surprise to me even after the season. It's something I never really thought of, and yeah, obviously to receive those awards is a huge honor, and it's nice to know that obviously I'm well respected around the league, I guess, and yeah, couldn't be happier to have my name on those awards.
Not as a slight to you or anything, but I was kind of surprised when I heard you were the first ever Player of the Year from Dubuque. Is that something that surprises you as well, just because of how much history this team has?
Yeah, I think so, definitely. When you look at the not only the players that the Dubuque has brought through in the history of the team. I think obviously when you think of their success as a team, you have them in the Tier 1 history. I guess they haven't missed the playoffs in the 10 years. So when you think of that, obviously there's got to be good players on those teams. So yeah, that definitely came as a surprise, but pretty cool to know that now Dubuque has one.
We know you're a team-oriented guy, so what did it mean to you to see not just yourself, but four other of your teammates being named to the All USHL teams?
Yeah, it's awesome. I think it just kind of went to show how special of a team and season we had. Obviously, with Oliver winning Coach of the Year, I'm sure that just kind of shows that we had the right guy in charge there. And then I guess with everyone else that got awards, the Twins and Doyle and Eric, obviously, yeah, it was an unreal season, and congrats to those guys. They're very deserving, and it was no surprise to me.
And Eric was your roommate the entire year. He wins goaltender of the year, obviously joined you on the first team. I know you've been asked this before, but just how much did that competition between the two of you kind of help your success this season?
Yeah, I think it definitely did. Obviously, it's not only having him as a teammate, but as a roommate. It's kind of that I guess that battle and motivation in practice against each other um, that kind of goes up a bit. Being roommates, and I think it was always a good battle during practice for anyone to score on him because it was very rare. But yeah, I think overall it definitely helped to kind of have him to try and score on every day was definitely a difficult challenge.
For you personally, what did your 2 years in Dubuque, now looking back at them, mean to you?
It means everything. I mean, if I look at where I was when I came to Dubuque, and now where I am when I've left, it's kind of crazy to think. I think obviously everyone knows that Dubuque is amazing at kind of putting players through the organization and making them better players. But I think even just the things I learned about myself, just from the coaches trying to teach us to be better people, and I think that was kind of the biggest thing. I learned so much about myself and how to kind of, I guess, develop my game and my mindset and work ethic. I think that was kind of the biggest thing.
Not many people might know this, but you came into Dubuque, and one of the first things you said to Oliver David is, "I plan to be here 2 years." You had that plan mapped out in your head that you were going to develop for 2 years at Dubuque. What was your goal coming into year two on what you really wanted to improve in your game?
Yeah, I think obviously when I came into Dubuque, I obviously knew I've always been a smaller guy, and the thought of me going into college after 1 year in the league was kind of a bit scary to me. I wasn't that confident in my abilities to be in college in a year. So I think coming back to Dubuque, I think it was super important for me to know and learn that not only could I get better, but I could get better in kind of every aspect. And knowing that there's no rush and I have time, I don't see why I would have went in, even though I could have, I guess. But yeah, I think overall, if I'm looking at what I wanted to get better, is just kind of everything. Just be a more complete player, and even if I was a good skater, become even better skater. Just examples like that, I guess. So I think that was really important for me to learn.
How much does this year for Dubuque as a whole kind of speak to the idea of spending a second year and getting better? I mean, you had the Jackson twins deciding to come back for a second year. You had Fulp, who had played parts of 3 seasons. A lot of veteran players on this team. How big of a deal do you think is it to get that extra year of experience?
Yeah, it's super important. Obviously, if you kind of can compare my first year to my second year, and you think like it does make a huge difference, and experience goes a long way. Maturity goes a long way, and I think the more comfortable you are, the better it's going to be for you. I think obviously you're given opportunity in Dubuque, and Oliver and Kelly do a great job of giving us an opportunity. We just have to make the most of it. So I think that's kind of what all us returners did, and obviously I think it's super important for kids in the future to even just kind of reflect on their season and know that like it's okay to go back for another season. I know a lot of kids are always in a rush to get to college, and sometimes it hurts kids, sometimes it doesn't. But yeah, it never hurts anyone, I don't think.
Looking back at this season, obviously cut short, not the way that any team wanted to finish it. But when you reflect on the year you guys had, what are a couple memories, maybe a couple moments or games that are going to stand out for you?
I think just the season as a whole is obviously um, an unbelievable memory that we're gonna have for the rest of our lives. But obviously, I think our start of the season, kind of going on that starting 7-0 or whatever it is, we had some pretty cool comebacks in those games. I think it was the best, one of the best starts to a season in Dubuque history. And then obviously our battles against Chicago were obviously going to be very memorable with the amazing team that they had. And yeah, I think there's a lot of different moments, but those kind of stand out to me.
And obviously, Saints fans are very passionate about the hockey that they watch in Dubuque, but they also follow along closely with a lot of players after their time in Dubuque. So, for fans that are interested in the next step for Riese Gaber, what does that look like?
I think it's I'm excited to get going, and obviously the fans in Dubuque are awesome and extremely passionate, and having them kind of cheer us on every night and the support they give us, it really does mean a lot, and it goes a long way, whether they realize it or not. And um, yeah, just their support is amazing, and I mean, whatever. Um, I know they're going to be supporting me throughout my career and in North Dakota, so I'm very grateful for that, and I thank them.
Well, Riese, thanks for taking the time and congratulations on not just all first team USHL, but also forward of the year and, of course, Dubuque's first ever player of the year.
Yeah, thanks, Jack. I appreciate it.
Thanks.